I am totally and completely overwhelmed. I miss him. I miss him terribly. Life as a widow just sucks right now.
We're here in this world for a purpose and just really trying to find my purpose.
It was really hard watching her go through what she went through.
Yeah, I would say losing my son.
Hi, and welcome to Carla Cash Out Loud. I'm Carla, and on this channel I travel up and down the East Coast and I interview people about real life, getting their real thoughts, real feelings, real answers, real raw emotions about real life things. And today I'm turning the camera on me and talking about my real life, raw, unfiltered, unedited, just the way it is, because right now life sucks as a widow. I've been a widow for 6 months exactly today. Today marks 6 months since my husband passed away. And I miss him. I miss him terribly. It is not fair. It is not right. I don't understand. I do believe in God. I have strong faith in God and in Jesus, but I will never understand why my husband was suddenly taken away from me without warning, without any idea that it was coming. He died suddenly and unexpectedly of a massive heart attack. He died in front of me. Now, yes, they revived him and took him to a hospital, but he actually died right in front of me. They worked on him for hours and they did everything they could, and I know that they did everything they could. There's no regret there whatsoever, but he died anyway. And every single day, I am reminded all day long, your husband is dead. Your husband is dead. Your husband's gone. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm unsettled. I'm unnerved. And if the truth be admitted, I'm a little bit depressed. I miss everything about him. I miss his laugh. I miss hearing his keys go in the door when he's coming through the back door in the afternoons from work. I miss his alarm going off at 7 every morning. I miss his voice. I miss him talking to me. I miss his incredible conversations. He was the most brilliant man you would ever meet in your entire life. And I actually made a video where I introduced him to you, and I'll insert that down in the description box below if you'd like to see a little bit about him and see some of his humor and hear a little bit from him. But it's not the same having those videos. As blessed as I am to have video footage of him, it's not the same. How could it ever be? He's missing. Every single day he's missing from me. It's not just that I miss him. He's missing from me. A part of me is missing. And it's never going to be the same. 6 months to the day that my world absolutely fell apart. It blew up. It shattered. I had entirely different plans for a video this week. I wanted to bring you something happy, but the truth is I'm not happy and I couldn't fake it any longer. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not happy to the point that I can't go on, that I hate life, that I'm absolutely miserable, but I'm not happy at this moment. And how could I be? Every single day I wake up with a knot in my stomach, and that knot stays in my stomach until late in the evening when I go to bed. It doesn't go away until I close my eyes. And then when I open my eyes back up, that knot is in my stomach once again, and it stays there all day long. It never goes away. It might ease a little bit, but it never goes away. And I am to the point where I am frustrated because people will say, "How are you?" And you know what I want to do? I don't want to say fine. I want to say, "My husband just died. How do you think I am?" I want to go out in my front yard and scream, "Hey world, my husband just died. It's 6 months today. And guess what? I'm not over it." My sleep is incredibly disturbed. I can't sleep at night. I'm scared of every little noise that I hear. Every little bump in the night freaks me out. And then in the daytime, I'm exhausted. I took some leave off from work so that I could try to recover and try to get better. And I'm supposed to go back to work next week. And I don't feel I'm ready. I don't feel I'm ready at all to deal with people. I have been getting help. I have been getting intense grief therapy with a counselor who specializes in grief counseling. And that's helping tremendously. I see her on the regular. And that is a tremendous blessing, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do that. If you are grieving, whether it's a husband, a parent, a child, a best friend, whoever it is, I highly encourage you to reach out and get help. Talk to your doctor to see if medication is right for you. Talk to any professional you can to see what might be right for you. That's what I did. Now that I've had my rant, that I've screamed at the world what I've wanted to stand out in my front yard and scream, my husband just died. Now that I've had the opportunity to scream that with you, I just wanted to get real with you today and tell you that I just didn't feel like doing a video of my normal caliber today because I'm struggling. It was 6 months today that I last saw him. It was 6 months today that he last laughed. It was 6 months today that he last breathed. It was 6 months today that he last pulled in the driveway in his old pickup truck. It was 6 months today that he last left me a note on my phone. He left me a message on my phone. And the last message that he sent to me was, you have a snack in the refrigerator. I have a meeting that's going to go late tonight. I'll bring you a treat. How sweet is that? That he was taking care of me up until the very last minute. And a treat meant dessert or candy or something like that. That's what we called sweet stuff, was a treat. But that's the last thing that he said to me on my phone, and our last words to each other on that day, 6 months ago today, the last words from him where he looked at me and he said, help me. And my last words to him were, stay with me. Stay with me. Don't leave me. But he did. Because God called him home. If you're struggling, I want you to know that according to my therapist, everything I am feeling right now is totally and 100% normal. That's the good news and the bad news, is that this is all, according to her, for me, normal. It sucks. Being a widow sucks right now because it hurts. It's painful. But I've had friends say to me that if I didn't feel this way, they would be worried about me. I've been incredibly strong, I think. I've held it together extremely well. And people tell me that all the time. You're so strong. Oh, you're holding it together. I'm tired of holding it together. And if you are too, it's okay. The other good news is there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I highly encourage you to get help. In the description box, I have phone numbers and text numbers and website addresses where you can call and get resources if you're struggling, if you need mental health assistance, if you need any kind of help, even with help with your bills. You can call 211 in your state, in the United States, and get resources for help. If you're a widow, I see you, I hear you, I understand you. If you're a man who's lost his wife, I see you, I hear you, I understand you. I understand that light that was in your life was gone. So I don't want to leave you thinking I'm not okay. And I also don't want to leave you without some sense of hope. It gets better, because guess what? I'm actually better than I was 6 months ago. It does ease a little bit, a little every day. That knot in my stomach that I talked about, it's easing. It's not quite as bad as it once was. And yes, he's still the first thing that I think of when I wake up, and he's still the last thing I think of when I go to bed. But it's better. It's better. And I'm fortunate that I had a camera I could pull out and scream and talk to you and get it out. If you don't have that, find a way to do what you need to do to get it out. You need to get it out. I think that's what one of my problems was, is I was holding it in too much. I didn't want people to think I was falling apart. Well, the truth is, I am falling apart. And that's okay. For me, that's normal. According to my therapist, that's totally 100% normal. So it's going to hurt, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better for you. It's going to get better for me. I do believe that God blesses us and brings us what we need when we need it. I also believe that He doesn't put us through more than we can handle. And He also says that He heals the brokenhearted. He heals the brokenhearted. And He blesses those who grieve. And He knows that we're here. And He hears our prayers. So I am going to ask you to pray for me. And in the comment section down below, if you would like me to pray for you, you just tell me. You just tell me. Please, Carla, pray for me. And if you want to go into elaboration as to why, I'll be happy to listen to that. If you just want to say, please pray for me, that's okay too. Whatever you need, I will be happy to share prayers with you, because I think it's very important that we stick together during this time. Bottom line is, there is hope. 6 months later, I'm doing better. 6 months later, I don't throw up every day. I throw up often still, but not all day, every day. 6 months later, I'm stronger. 6 months later, after he died, I don't burst out into tears every time his name is mentioned. And I want you to know that it'll get better for you too. Again, get help, get help, get help. That's my number one message to you, is go to a professional mental health practitioner and get help, because that's what they're there for. Look in your area to see if there are grief counseling groups or grief support groups. That's the word I'm looking for, grief support groups. See if there are grief support groups in your area. Find other people who've gone through it. If there is any consolation in any of this, I guess that it is in great love. The consequence is great grief. I read something to that effect, that grief is the consequence of great love. Your love has nowhere to go. It's all stuck inside. You could express it before. You could talk to the person before. And now there's nowhere for all this love to go anymore. And so it's building and building, and it's stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. And eventually you're going to explode. Don't explode. Get the help that you need. Talk, pray, meditate, whatever you do. Maybe you don't pray. That's okay. If you have any advice for me, would you leave it for me in the comment section down below? If you would like me to pray for you, would you leave it for me in the comment section down below? I'm thinking of doing a live stream coming up soon where I do nothing but pray for people. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. So I leave you with letting you know that I'm actually okay, and I want you to know you'll be okay too. We're not promised that the sun is going to come out tomorrow. We're promised right this very moment. So right this very moment, I want you to call someone. Don't text, don't email, don't message. I want you to call someone and tell them that you love them. If you have broken bridges, if you have burned bridges with a loved one, a friend, a family member, I want you to just call them and say, I love you. You don't have to get into the reasons you had a falling out. Just say, I love you, and leave it at that. Just say, I was thinking about you, and leave it at that. Do something good for someone today, and in doing that, you're doing something good for yourself too. This is Carla Cash Out Loud, and I have certainly put it all out loud today, haven't I? We'll bring you interviews next week. Once again, I'll be on the road, traveling up and down the East Coast, mainly my home state of Virginia, talking to people, bringing you interviews. But like I said, I wanted to turn the camera and kind of interview myself today and tell you how I'm doing. And it's okay. Believe it or not, I actually feel better after having just talked to you today. So it's okay. It's okay. Until next time, much love to you. Bye-bye. Take care.